Who are you?
Whoever you want me to be.
Don't say I never gave you anything.
It's feeling epic.
3 words. 8 letters.
I remember everything.
What's up, Previously Honors? It is day 1 of the 21 Tree Hill weekend. We are in Wilmington, North Carolina. We're your boots on the ground, bringing you all the gossip, news, everything big from this weekend. We are back in our hotel room after an action-packed day, and we have so much to tell you guys. So let's get into it. Are you ready, Claire?
I've never been more ready for anything in my life.
We had quite a day, didn't we?
We kicked it off bright and early at the airport. We boarded a tiny little plane, had a lovely quick flight down to Wilmington, and really hit the ground running.
I know. We woke up before the sun came up, and yeah, the minute we got to Wilmington, we went to Trick, basically. We got to our hotel, checked in, and we're like, let's walk to Trick. We have time. Let's go do that instead of taking a car. Let me just say, we're New Yorkers and we think that we can walk everywhere. And we learned this is not true. Okay, this is a warning to everybody. Do not walk to Trick if you are staying in downtown Wilmington. It is a bad idea. We got swarmed by mosquitoes to where I was worried we were going to have to call an ambulance at one point.
I mean, you're not exaggerating. We walked through downtown, and then at one point the sidewalk just ended. And we probably should have hopped in a car right then and there, but we were like, no, there's grass. We'll keep going.
We were like, 5 more minutes. It's fine. We can do it.
Yeah, half a mile away. This is nothing.
I literally look over at Claire at one point, and there is just a swarm of mosquitoes surrounding her to where I was like, what lotion is she using? Like, that's so crazy. Little did I know that they were also surrounding me. I mean, it was like mosquito NATO, if that is a thing. I'm making it a thing. That is what it was like, and it was terrifying. I thought, I'm gonna get so bitten, I'm not gonna make it to this game tomorrow. I was so worried.
Well, I think the alarming part was that, we passed under this bridge, and we think that's where we kicked up a nest or something. It was concerning.
But yeah, luckily, we seem to be okay. I don't have a bug bite on my body yet. But anyways, we're clearly scarred by this experience. So this is a lesson to everybody. Just take the car to Trick. It's okay. Just do it. But Trick was fun. It really was like a VIP experience, I thought.
Yeah, I mean, they keep the numbers small so that you're not crowded when you go in there, and you have plenty of time to walk around, to do the photo ops, to look at everything and see everything. There's some drinks available, which was fun. We had a great time.
I know they do have some fun set pieces. They have like school lockers of how they were all like set up, which is really bringing it back to like the high school era of the show, which was fun. You see a lot of Peyton's bedroom with all the records. We had a fun time recreating the most important scene ever on One Tree Hill, where he's on the door, Peyton. He's on the damn door under me. So be sure to check out that video because Claire does something at the end, which I thought this was like Emmy worthy.
I think I was just caught up in the moment, and the acting muscles just took over at that point.
Were you mad that I made you play Peyton?
No, I would expect nothing less.
I was like, I'm sorry, I just have to do Brooke. I let her know this quite in advance as well. I was like, I don't have it in me to do Payne. Like, I just can. I'm sorry. So thank you for being a good sport for that. But yeah, Trick has a lot of great photo opportunities, definitely. We did some photos in front of a Close Over Bros sign. There's like a Raven sign and basketballs that you can pose with. I did really enjoy being able to get the brain blaster. That really made me feel like I was like actually at Trick.
Yeah, I mean, they have alcoholic and non-alcoholic versions. It was noon. We were having a great time,
After the mosquitoes, we needed a drink.
I was unwell. I was not okay.
But yeah, overall, just great experience. And it was so fun to be able to like actually be in Trick. Like even just walking up to that building, I was like, oh my God, this is where they actually filmed it. Like it just felt a little surreal to me.
Yeah, and you can see sort of the outline on the wall where the sign I think used to be. Like it's faded, but it's there. It was really cool and really fun. And there's people who have signed the brick on the outside of the building, and some of it's their names and some of it's quotes from the show. So it was really a really great time.
I feel like Trick is one of my favorite things that was a part of One Tree Hill, and definitely the biggest bright spot in season 2 for sure. So I think it's cool that you're able to go see it and go visit it, and that they like brought in a lot of set pieces for it. So if you're in the Wilmington area, I would highly recommend it. I thought it was fun, and it's a self-guided tour. You can come in, come out, do whatever you want.
Yeah, we were 5 minutes late, just to clarify, because of the mosquito disaster. And we were able to enter. So, but yeah, definitely drive. Do not walk.
If you are late, be sure to knock on the door because it's locked. So we had some kind person who was standing on the entryway let us know, maybe you should knock. And we were like, oh, that didn't occur to us. But they let us right in.
I know, thank God. I was like starting to freak out. I was like, not the mosquitoes and now this. I'm so upset. And then we went to the pep rally today. We got a little pep in our step.
Rally, it was fun. It was on the UNCW campus.
Yes, UNCW, where I almost went to, by the way, because I was so obsessed with One Tree Hill that I was like, maybe I should go to UNCW. That seems like a great school. So, but yeah, it was fun that it was like on the UNCW campus. And the pep rally was in a smaller gym, which I thought was super cool because we felt like we were really close to everybody and we had like a great view of everything. But the pep rally started, the cheerleaders came out. And I gotta say, I'm a little mad I didn't apply to be a cheerleader because they were taking applications. Everyone could have applied. Yeah. And I don't know, like, could I have gotten it?
Like, was the application to be a cheerleader, like, just put your name in? Or did you have to actually give, like, your cheerleader experience, like, resume?
To self-tape?
I don't know. And I wish I would have looked more into it because that's a really good question. But there was a part of me that was like, should I apply to do this? That seems kind of fun and a little bit of a dream. I'm not going to lie. When I was an extra back in the day, at one point they called me and they were like, we need an extra. Can you be a cheerleader? And I was like, sure, yeah. Like, obviously, I should have just said yes. Like, there's not that much involved. They're not going to make me do backflips. Right. But I got nervous that they were. Like, it was, like, for something special, and I kind of hesitated. And then it didn't end up working out. So I just have this dream of being a Ravens cheerleader. So we don't know what was on the application, and that's a good question. But I thought some of them were pretty advanced. There were some backflips, Claire.
I was going to say.
Yeah, there was a girl that did, a backflip. We also had two girls who were clearly like the captains. They were leading everyone. They had high energy, high spirits. And, shout out to the two of you doing God's work because the crowd was a little lackluster for some reason.
I know. I feel like we were trying to get everybody going. Like, I was really clapping with the cheerleaders. Like, you got this, girls. Like, maybe I just thought I was cheerleader captain. I was channeling my Brooke Davis energy. I don't know. They had a tough job of like getting everybody going when the cast was not out there yet. And like nobody really knew what was going on.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say is like they seem to be killing a lot of time. Like, and they just kept doing the same, routine a little bit over. So we were trying to be like enthusiastic and make them not feel awkward for, being out there for so long.
But then they did the dance from season 3 Sparkle Classic. And as I'm watching this, I'm like, why do I know these dance moves? Like, what is this? And then I was like, oh my God, it's that season 3 episode that I've watched 900,000 times. And I was like really getting into it. I loved it. They did a good job with it.
I think that was like a signal that things are starting. We had some cast members make some brief appearances to keep the crowd energy high before that.
And you mean Tyler Hilton and Barbara Ellen Woods, Chris Keller and Deb. Yeah. And they were really doing God's work by coming out there and doing some Cupid shuffle for everybody. That was nice. They were really throwing those cheerleaders a bone there. And they were fun. They really did get the crowd going.
I mean, thank God, honestly, because like they were like, we gotta do something here. It seemed like they were having issues with the music or something. I don't know, but it felt like, we need to keep these people from rioting. So like, let's send some cast out there. And I think those two were the most willing.
I feel like we were all waiting on one cast member to arrive, and it seemed maybe like Antoine Tanner Skills was not there yet because we all saw him arrive. Yeah. So I'm wondering if he was maybe a part of some delays. I don't know. But Tyler Hilton and Barbara Allen Woods were killing it out there. And I feel like I'm like, okay, those two get the award for like just, high energy school spirit.
Yes, most spirited goes to the two of them for, trying. Neither one of them knew the Cupid shuffle, but they were giving it their all. They were kicking, they were twerking. It was fun.
And it was so fun because we were seated like right in the middle of the gym. So we had a great view of everybody, but then the entire cast was standing above us basically.
We were center court, I guess.
Yeah, center court. Yeah, we got those. We got those center court tickets, people. Don't you worry.
And also on the correct side, it seemed like they all decided to face one side of the gym, and we happened to be on the good side. So like we played it well.
I was excited when we did see the cast there because I didn't know if they were all going to come out for this pep rally. Like, I didn't really know what this was going to be. So I was thrilled of like, oh my God, they're all going to come out. That's going to be so fun. And then they did. So we had Lee Norris, Moira Kelly, Craig Schaefer, Paul Johansson, Bevan,
Antoine, Drew Seeley, Fergie and Junk were there.
It was fun. It was like a really good cast of characters. I feel like it was a lot of like the season 1 people, which made me very excited because I just hold like such a love for season 1 still for the show, and I started binging it again right before we were coming here. Give me 2 days. I'm already on like episode 15 of season 1. I know it's crazy, but so I'm like, I love these people. So it was really fun to be able to like see them all together.
Yeah, and then at one point, Tyler Hilton pulled out his phone, FaceTime Chad Michael Murray, who unfortunately could not be there. And I got to tell you, from where we were seated, we could see his face on that iPhone screen, which was exciting.
Oh, I was zooming into that iPhone screen. I think I got a pretty good video. I got to share it, but I'm worried I'm like shrieking in the video. So I'm a little worried I ruined it. We'll have to see because I was giddy about that FaceTime and that we could actually like see it. I was like, he can see me. Wave to Chad, everyone. Wave to Chad.
He was definitely wearing like his beanie and like loose V-neck and necklace. So very Chad Michael Murray era right now.
Yeah, like was he? I'm like, was he in bed? Was he in his trailer? Like, we don't know. We don't know, but that was nice that he, did that little video. I feel like tomorrow at the game, he'll probably do something too, for sure. And then Paul Johansson was really making some jokes while he got the mic. I feel like that was really something to remember. He was getting the crowd all riled up about Dan and Keith, which I did think was kind of fun. Yeah, it was cute. We love like any reference to the show, really. Yeah. But he asked how many times Moira, who plays Karen, slapped him in the show, and then they recreated the slap, which I thought was fun.
Yeah, we had some nice jokey moments. Well, when he came in, he sat in the front row of the bleachers at first and didn't walk out onto the court with the rest of the cast. And I was like, guys, he's right there. And
I didn't see him. You had to point it out to me.
I was like, Paul Johansson is right in the front row, like 3 rows in front of us. And then as soon as they started, talking, he got up with the rest of them. But yeah, there were a lot of people out there, which was really fun to see so many of them together and interacting and hugging each other because clearly they hadn't seen each other in a minute. So that was cool.
I do love that it all seems like they're pretty close and tight together. And even the people who never really had scenes together, it seems like through these conventions and through these panels and things that they do for the show, 21 years later, like they're still close. I think that's so special. And I think that as a fan, that's so fun to be able to see.
I had the same thought, like watching them all like chit chat and stuff, like just amongst themselves, like while they were standing out on the court. I was like, it really does seem like they all like really like each other and are like actually friends, which is like really cool to see.
I know. Isn't that just like all of what we want in these shows? A lot of them also had a bad experience during filming, but it's so nice that it all wasn't for shit, basically. And then we got Tyler Hilton sang us a couple songs, which is always a fun treat. I mean, he did When the Stars Go Blue, which we love. I'll never get sick of him singing that.
No, and that one was a bonus because he sang his first song and then he's like, I think I'm only supposed to sing one, but I'm in the mood to keep playing. So then he did, When the Stars Go Blue, and we were singing along, we were swaying, we had a great time.
I love anytime Tyler Hilton picks up that guitar. I mean, I hated his character when his character came on the show, but, now he is like my favorite, I think.
Full circle moment for you, Jill.
I know. Like, I've just like loved him over these years because his music is so good. And even when I hated him on the show, I still was downloading those songs. They were so good.
I mean, I saw him open for Hilary Duff back in 2005, I want to say. And I was so excited. My friend had no idea who he was. And I was like, you don't understand. This is Chris Keller. He's very important. And so I've been a fan ever since.
Okay, that's very important that you saw him with Hilary Duff in 2005. That is like, put that on your tombstone. That's good.
I mean, yeah. And, performing before Tyler Hilton was Teddy Geiger. So that's just setting the scene of just how long ago that happened.
Good times. Good times. Well, I met Tyler back in 2012 and I still have his autograph from when I met him. It was like after a concert or whatever. But I was like thinking about this today because, I went to that in 2012 being like still having this love for like One Tree Hill, even though it'd been off the air only a year or not even.
I think it ended in 2012.
And it's just wild that even, another 10 years later, like here we are again and we're still not sick of this. We want more and more and more. We love this show. We love these characters. And I'm ready to go to this convention every year. I don't know what else to say. It's just so fun.
The fandom is really impressive and it's so international. They did a little thing where they asked, who's traveled the furthest to be here. And there were people from parts of Europe. There was someone from Australia, someone from Brazil. It was really like kind of crazy to see like just how far these people are. Like they hopped on a plane to Wilmington, North Carolina, which is not a huge city, specifically for this event, which is really cool.
I know it really shows how far this show has come and traveled, and it's had such a resurgence. I mean, there's so many like young people there too that discovered the show after it was airing on streaming, which is just so interesting. Of like, I'm sure these actors never in their wildest dreams ever would have thought this and ever would have thought that like they'd be going to this like big weekend event for this show 21 years later. And I just think that is so special. And so I hope that they keep doing it. And I hope that the love for the show continues. I feel like I'm going to be like 50 years old, coming to Wilmington being like, I'm here for the One Tree Hill basketball game. Yeah.
And it's all of the kids from the show, like Jamie and Logan, like they're playing now because they're probably in their 30s at that point. But we'll be there. We'll be center court. We'll be cheering them on, being like, remember when you had a weird friend named Chuck? It's going to be great.
I'm going to be in like a wheelchair. James Lafferty will probably definitely be in a wheelchair.
Yeah. I was like, if they're all, the parents are going to be by that point.
That's why we got to go now. All right. Well, this got a little dark. That is a wrap on day 1 of 21 Tree Hill Weekend. We will be back with more info for the rest of the weekend. We are going to the state championship basketball game tomorrow. Go Ravens. We're going to have a lot to talk about after that. So stay tuned. And we are back. Day 2 is done of the 21 Tree Hill weekend, and it was a jam-packed day. We have a lot to talk about.
Yes, we were up bright and early, kicking things off, arriving at 8:30 a.m., and we stayed partying with those One Tree Hillers until late into the evening.
The One Tree Hillers don't stop. Yeah, we got there early so we could, mix and mingle. We met some of you, which was very fun. And then the game started. We got a Tyler Hilton national anthem, which was fun because he also did that in the show. So it really felt like we were in the show for a second.
Yes, and then, they did the tip-off.
We should also talk about how they all ran out, which was fun. We had James Lafferty leading the lineup and ripping through the paper. It was like we were at a NBA game or something. Maybe not with the athletic talent, but it was just fun when they all ran out there. I thought it was fun to see James and Brian Greenberg and Stephen Coletti, and a lot of people from the show.
Yeah, very exciting. We should also shout out the cheerleaders again. They came out, they did that wonderful dance again, and we had a special guest cheerleader for the game, Barbara Allen Wood, in her Ravens cheer costume. She looked fantastic, and she had her pom. She was dancing with them. She was on the sidelines, helping to cheer on both her son on one team and her boyfriend on the other team. It was dramatic.
Barbara really brought the energy again. She was getting everybody going. She was going into the crowd. She was taking photos. She kept hopping onto the mic with Mouth and Jimmy Edwards, which they did a really good job commenting, I will say. Lee Norris took that job seriously, and he is good at it. I thought he brought a lot of fun to the day.
Yeah, he was encouraging all the players, especially when they missed a shot. He was like, it's okay, you're still pretty type of thing. I think all those years of playing a commentator on the show really paid off because he seemed quite comfortable there.
And I was quite shocked. The most shocking thing of the day was the athletic talent. I mean, there were a lot of missed baskets, I would say.
I mean, on both sides, we had James Lafferty leading, I believe, the Tree Hill Ravens in black, and Robbie Jones leading the Rivercourt Ravens in white. And they were pretty evenly matched, which is to say, not super great, but they were all trying their hardest.
I mean, I could put together a compilation of all the missed baskets, but, I don't want to be mean or negative, but it is funny. I kept trying to get some good video, and every time I tried, they missed.
I was shocked because you guys were telling me when we did our little episode about James Lafferty's new ad with American Eagle, you guys were like, no, he's actually good at basketball. And so then to see him yesterday and really have that not be true, it was disappointing.
I stand by that, okay? He's the only one who did not have a double in the basketball scene, so we thought he was so good. Also, he still got that jump shot. He was doing some fun jump shots. I feel like he was trying to give the fans a little Nathan Scott, which was fun.
They're also old. At this point, everyone on the court was middle age.
They were definitely looking to be a little tired out there, but they did play 4 8-minute periods, which I thought was quite a bit. They were out there a lot. And then you have everybody wants James Lafferty and Brian Greenberg out there. So they kept really having to go back in, and they were probably so tired.
Yeah, honestly, Brian Greenberg kind of surprised me. I didn't know that he had the basketball skills that he did, but he was making baskets. He was running back and forth. We were loving Jake Jagelski on that court.
Because I feel like Jake Jagelski barely played basketball in the show. Those just weren't his scenes. Right. He was obviously on the team, but I feel like even in games, they just really didn't put him in there.
Yeah, just a fun surprise for us.
And then we got a halftime performance by Gavin DeGraw, which was exciting. He literally came in singing I Don't Want to Be, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and another fun surprise was that Bethany Joy Lenz was there. She came in sort of late in the second quarter, sat and watched some of the game, and Gavin, walked over to her, and she was belting some riffs while he was singing. It was really exciting.
We need a duet with those two. She needs to get on a song with him.
I mean, we do have the 20th anniversary of Chariot coming up soon. He was there to promote that, which I will be streaming. I think you all should too. Maybe we'll have a surprise duet on that.
I would love that. It was fun, though, that Joy came to the game. You know, she was talking to James Lafferty at one point, and love a little Naley reunion. It was fun. I was like, I wish I could hear what they were saying. So that was definitely a highlight for me, too. Anything else about the game?
Well, I think it got exciting in the second half because it was a close game. And then in the last few minutes, it was all tied up, and then they kept tying it, and we actually ended on a tie, which was really fun. But we got confetti anyway.
The last couple of minutes, though, was really fun, that they were putting in all their effort to try and win this. And people were actually making baskets. That was an exciting part. You could tell the competitive side of a lot of these players came out. And then, yeah, at the end, all this confetti came down just like the show, which was a lot of fun. I feel like one of the organizers, I think, came on the mic and said, "It's you." The person I want with all my dreams by me, or the person next to me when all my dreams come true, it's you. I was like, love that. It was fun. Confetti always adds a little something. But it was like we were living in the show, literally. And then once the game ended, the press conference started. And this was really fun. So I went to this. I got to be second row, which was exciting. And no one was in front of me. So I had a clear view right into the eyes of James Lafferty the whole time, which was very exciting. Almost too close. I was like, he can see me. There's bright lighting in here. But they had each team come in. So the Ravens came in first, and then they had, after they were done, then the River Court team came in after that. And really, they just answered people's questions about the show. They talked a lot about how they all loved filming the state championship game. That was a lot of their favorite episodes to film because they got to film it. I think it was in Charlotte. So they were all very excited that they got to travel, and they said that they worked on a basketball level. They all worked really hard to make it look good. They all really practiced and worked on these plays for the game. So it actually looked like they could win a state championship game, which, just the effort that they put in, that was just nice to hear that they really cared about it and knew it was important for the show and a great moment. James was saying, too, that was his favorite storyline, was that state championship journey with the Ravens, which I thought was interesting. I was like, oh, more than the NBA. But he also said that the NBA did not want to play ball with the show, so they had to cut that storyline short. They wanted to explore it a little bit more, but they just couldn't get the rights or couldn't do the filming in the way that they wanted to, so they had to quit that storyline, which I thought was interesting. I'd never heard him say that before. Some people were asking questions about the reboot, which that eventually got a kibosh. But really, when they were talking about it, they were like, there's not really information. We don't have any information yet. This is still, in development, so it's not a real thing yet. But I will say that Antoine, who plays Skills, he was like, tell Netflix you want me on that show. He wants to be on that reboot so bad. And then I also thought Brian Greenberg seemed pretty interested in the reboot. He was lighting up about it. He's like, I don't know anything about it, but he was like, I'd be down.
I get it. Get that Netflix paycheck.
I feel like also he really wouldn't mind revisiting his character in this world. He seems to have a lot of love for it, and his journey, I think, on the show just got cut a little bit short, and he wishes he could have done more with it. So I feel like he wants that second opportunity, it seemed. Paul Johansson, he mentioned that he is done with Dan Scott. He would not play Dan Scott again if given the opportunity. I feel like he was just things got wild.
Yeah.
At one point, one of the questions was when the show started to do some wild storylines, and somebody was like, what do you mean wild storylines? I think it was Lee Norris. It was just so funny it's fun when they kind of poke fun at those crazy storylines that they had to do and stuff. Another interesting moment from the press conference was when Robbie Jones, who played Quentin Fields, he asked us, he was like, did you want my character to die? And we were all like, no. Like everyone in the room was like, no, we hated it. And I feel like he was like, okay, thank you. Like, he's like, I just needed to know. I feel like this has like really plagued him. Like, he is so mad that they killed him off because I don't know why they did either. We're all confused about it.
I mean, it did give us a really great funeral episode. Like, that episode is burned into my brain. But I mean, he was such a cool character, and he was bringing in that younger generation of like still high school, keeping that connection to the basketball. And then when he died, it just became like, okay, so now what are we doing here? Type of thing.
And then he talked about having to play a ghost, and he was like, it was weird. He was like, I did not know how to play it. He's like, it was written in the script where I'd just be like staring and giving these looks. He's like, I guess I'm doing this now. So that was fun. I mean, everyone in the room collectively was like, no, we didn't want you to die. It was so funny. But there were a lot of great moments that they talked about. And you could collectively tell, though, that they all love getting to do this and come back together and doing this game. And even the guys, too, who like played the more like background characters, but are actually basketball players. And we're the ones who, were in every game and were like a big part of the show in the high school years. They like love being able to like come back together and play ball, literally. And it was just really cute to see them all enjoy themselves and have fun together and laugh. Like, you can tell they're all still close and friends. And a lot of the cast, thanked the fans throughout it of like, we are all still friends because we get to come to conventions like this all the time. So we're all staying in touch and seeing each other a lot more than we probably would. And I thought that was really sweet. You can tell that they appreciate it, which is nice. I mean, a lot of people are not like that.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, as a fan, you can always tell when an actor is, like, annoyed to have to do stuff for the fans. Yeah. And, like, none of them seem like that.
Yeah, I think, and too, even at the game, James Lafferty took a minute during halftime, I think, to get on the mic and say as much and just say, like, thank you, we're here because of you. So it is really nice to note that they all appreciate it and they have love for the show and love for the fandom, and that they're not just, doing this for a paycheck. They're doing this because they want to.
Yeah, then at night we went to Tyler Hilton did a show at this rooftop bar, which was very fun. He did it with Echo Stone. So we went to that, and that was a lot of fun. Echo Stone played for a bit. They were great. They were fun. Alternative band, brought me back to my youth. And then Tyler Hilton came on after that. It was funny. He had to come in. There's like one door to get up to this rooftop bar. So he like had to walk through everybody to come in. And he was like, hi. Yeah. And then he had to like come back around too. Tyler Hilton is just always, I feel like, such a good sport with this show. And he has a lot of fun with it. You can tell like he's recording as he's walking in. He couldn't believe how many people were there. It was a really fun night.
Yeah, and I think what's cool is that it seems like that's a place where like the cast used to hang out just like for fun, because when he got up on stage, he said, oh, like this is the most sober I've ever been at this bar. Because I think that's a place where they used to go when they were filming. And so for him to play on the stage to this like packed crowd of Tree Hill fans was really fun.
He did a lot of songs from the show. He did Glad. He did When It Comes. And then we see Joy Lenz come in. She was trying to hide, but again, there's only that one door in. I like shrieked when I saw her. I was like, oh my God, as she was trying to like hide. But then they sang When the Stars Go Blue, which just never gets old. It's always so fun. But it was fun that she came to support him and then do a song together too. And yeah, he played a lot of different songs.
Yeah, he was up there for 45 minutes, which was longer than we thought he was going to play. We were like, oh, he might just come in and then go out. But he sang a bunch of stuff. Barbara Allen Wood was there as well. She had a seat at the bar. And at one point, they were trying to take the stools away to make more space for the crowd. And people started chanting, "Let Deb sit," which was fun.
I love that chant. Let Deb sit. Let Deb sit. We all wanted to protect Barbara Ellen Woods. We love her. And she just always goes out to support everybody, which is so sweet. But yeah, it was a really fun, just like after party from the game. And it was fun again to see, you know, all the Tree Hillers out and just sing and dance the night away. We had a couple brain blasters. I feel like just the whole weekend, like in general, was just so fun. If you're a fan of the show, I mean, this is such a fun fan event to go to. And we didn't even meet any of the cast. Like, we didn't sign up for any of the photos or autographs just because, I mean, they are expensive. But you can still go to these other events, like go to the game, go to the pep rally. Like, you're still very close to the cast. They're doing fun hijinks. They're having fun. It's still, you know, it's still a lot of fun, even if you don't necessarily want to spend money on the autographs and all that.
Yeah, and we should note that the concert that we went to was not part of the official weekend. It was the official, unofficial after party. That was just sort of, you know, put together through this bar, and it was a $5 cover, which I think you have to pay that $5 cover if you go to the bar just to go to the bar. So it was, keep an eye out for those type of things too.
Yeah, a lot of the businesses like shops and bars and restaurants all did fun One Tree Hill specials, like specialty drinks. Like, a lot of them had like the Brain Blaster on their menu, or they were selling a lot of One Tree Hill merch. There was a store that like turned into Clothes Over Bros. So there's so much like One Tree Hill stuff just in the town of Wilmington that they did specifically for this weekend, which was so fun and just like elevated the weekend even more to where you can just be doing One Tree Hill stuff all weekend. My dream, my literal dream. I know. I feel like I was so excited that we did this weekend. Like, I remember when I was in high school, I think it was when I was like a sophomore, and One Tree Hill were doing these events. I think it was when the CW, when the WB turned into the CW, and they were doing these like promo events and autograph sessions. And I begged my parents to go to one in Chicago. I was like, I wanted to go so bad because James Lafferty was going to be there. And I was like, this is my moment. And it was the same day, though, as our homecoming dance. And my parents were like, you're going to regret not going to homecoming. Like, thinking like this show is probably just like a phase or whatever. And I gotta say, I still regret not going, but I got to live my One Tree Hill dreams this weekend.
Clarify, you regret not going to the autograph signings.
Yes. I regret not going to the autograph signing. I don't even remember that homecoming dance. But you can still live out your One Tree Hill dreams, people. So this was a lot of fun.
This was really great. We had such a great time, in meeting so many other people who love the show as much as we do. I think it's always fun to be surrounded by people who love the thing that you love. And so it was just a really sort of happy, like fun spirit all weekend wherever we went.
I hope that they continue to do these One Tree Hill weekends and these events, because it was a lot of fun. I'd love to go to another one again.
Yeah, I think that'd be fun. I would love for there to be a concert. You know, One Tree Hill has such great music and such great characters that played music and performed. Tyler played a song. He's like, I wrote this with my friend Kate Vogel. And I'm like, I would love to see Mia up there singing some of her songs again. So yeah, if the organizers are listening, can you get us a concert in 2025?
I know, bring out Jana Kramer again. There's a lot of great musicians on this show. That would be a lot of fun. Bring back those One Tree Hill concerts. The music on the show is so good. So I would love that. Bring out Yellow Card. All right. Well, that's it. That was our One Tree Hill Convention Weekend 21 Tree Hill recap. So much fun. We hope you guys enjoyed listening along and hearing all about it.
If you want to hear more about our love for One Tree Hill, our love for Nathan Scott, we've got a lot of previous episodes where we prattle on about both of those things for lots of minutes. Those can all be found wherever you get your podcasts. Please follow, subscribe, rate, and review us. Give us 5 stars. You can also find us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at previously on _teen TV. Thanks for listening.